The sea runs red as the night turns black. Bones and blood will mark my track. A sailor's grin, a butcher's hand. I've tried to stop, but I am what I am.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of Popeye The Slayer Man. That's right, we got a lot of new properties that are becoming public domain now, so everybody wants to twist and turn them into something dark and demonic. I mean, that's what we all love to do in our brains. Why not, right? Now, I gotta be honest, I have been a little bit behind on these types of movies. I didn't do reviews of Winnie the Pooh 1 and 2. I didn't do any of the other films that are like kind of in this line. So I'm a little bit late to the game, but I figured, you know, maybe I should start doing these and giving my honest opinion to you guys, because there's gonna be a lot more with Mickey Mouse. We even have a ton more with Popeye. We have another one out already called Popeye's Revenge. That one was like $12 to rent. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna hold off on that one. There's also another one coming out called Shiver Me Timbers, which is another Popeye one. Up front, let me just tell you, these movies, you know, they're made to be fun, I think, for the most part, even though the movie that I'm going to talk to you about today is kind of done very seriously, but it's done in that so bad it's good way. These aren't going to be, you know, Oscar nominated films. That doesn't mean that they deserve a 1 out of 10, okay? If you're expecting anything in the 10 category, you're smoking crack. And that's not what's in Popeye's pipe. Just to get that out of the way, I'm going to be grading this on movies like it. You know, Velocipaster, Carousel, things like that. That's the intended audience for this type of movie. Popeye the Slayer Man just came out this week, and it's about a curious group of friends, very much like Scooby-Doo Adventure Gang, who are looking into an abandoned spinach canning factory that is considered to be haunted by the Sailor Man. They want to investigate this and see if there's any truth to the story, and while doing so, they find out the history of the canning factory and bump into Popeye, the Slayer Man. Will they and their friends survive? Probably not. I mean, honestly. So this movie is directed by Robert Michael Ryan. This is a movie that I immediately was like, okay, I get right off the bat. It's a movie played serious, done in that so bad it's good way, but not in like the intentional obvious way. They're actually trying to make a scary film, so to speak, but they have things in it that are silly, if that makes sense. Not necessarily like so obviously silly, but there's just some parts in it that really actually made me kind of laugh. Clearly, the acting is not going to be up to snuff, but it does its job. I think this movie's fully aware of itself. This one has some gore in it. They use all practical effects. There was no CGI that I could even find in this movie, so kudos to them for at least keeping it practical. There are some shots where they, you know, it's an aftermath kind of shot. They don't do so many in the moment shots, but there are a couple that they do when they're squeezing people's heads and, you know, crushing people, that they edit it together so that the gore kind of fits in there. So there is an effort to a degree to make that work. But again, it's a small budget film. We're not expecting miracles here. The fact that there's any gore in this and that it's mostly practical is probably two of the bigger points in the film. And that the suit and the, you know, Popeye character doesn't look too bad in my opinion, but you know, everybody's a fucking critic, so Obviously, the makeup effects on Popeye are a little, weird. I mean, first of all, it's a fucking cartoon character, guys. You could probably do some different variations, and from the other movies I've watched the trailers of, it seems like some are trying to toy with that idea. This one wants to make a sort of mask and the big giant forearms because he's supernatural strength, right? He eats his spinach and he becomes like a hulking beast
that will destroy everything in its path.
Made me laugh right off the bat. Just using quotes of "I am what I am" or silly one-liners that Popeye would use, that are sailor themed. There really is only a few in this movie, so it's not so overwhelming. He is kind of akin to something like Jason Voorhees going around in this warehouse dispatching of kids one by one. There is a lot of different side plots going on with different characters. There's this cool guy who's also an abusive piece of shit, and his friends who are just insanely fucking nefarious and just trying to cause the most problems, which really kind of made me laugh. Very tropey characters in a movie that feels like another movie, but, obviously has been painted with the Popeye treatment. And some of the characters in the movie, you'll notice, are characters that will be in the Popeye universe in a way. Now, I don't want to say anything more than that. Just know that this is intrinsic to the movie. They are using different names and stuff to develop a story. The more you find out about this can factory, the more you realize that there has been something that has caused him to mutate into this abominable monster that goes around crushing people's heads, disemboweling people, and just being kind of shadowy in the corners. Now, I was a little disappointed that there wasn't a laugh in this because Popeye's laugh, I feel like, could be utilized in a horror movie just a bit. And maybe one of these other movies will use that in some degree. They do use the canned spinach, obviously, in this movie. There's something wrong with the spinach, I'll just say that. And it causes him to hulk up. But yeah, overall, this is a movie that is not going to be a serious take. It is one you pop on after you've taken some edibles and you got some pizza and beer, and you tell your friends, hey, we're gonna watch Popeye the Slayer Man, and everybody's like, yeah! If you're not into those type of movies, why even visit this? Why even try? Why give it a 0 or a 1 out of 10 if you don't know what to expect from this fucking movie? I swear to God, some people and their scores, say what you will about them, people still took the time to make these, and they're using it to either have fun or as a stepping stone to do something even better, just in the hopes that this makes enough money so that they can make the next project. You know what I mean? So I have to give them kudos. It didn't bore me. I didn't hate it. I rolled my eyes quite a few times, which I expected, and I laughed quite a few times, which I was hoping. And that's all I really wanted from the movie. So on a scale of, Popeye movies or these kind of movies, I would say it's about a 6, maybe 6.5 out of 10. It would probably be a 2 out of 10 for everybody else, but this is that sort of silly, schlocky scale. Yeah, if you want to check it out, it's up on rent right now for $5.99. I would like to check out Popeye's Revenge at some point in time when the price comes down for rent. And Shiver Me Timbers at some point this year too. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see me do more of these, give a shout out in the comment section and let me know what you think of this movie, what you expect from this movie, and if it's ever going to be on your watch list. But yeah, thanks for coming by, guys, and as always, long live the Void.
Hey, thank you everybody for following BTV. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe so you can sail on by another day. Happy horror hunting and